everyone! Today for art class we're going to be making a tissue paper tree, a fun festive art project. Here's what you'll need today. Several colors of tissue paper, white liquid glue, a plate to put your glue on, blue construction paper, brown construction paper, green construction paper, newspaper, scissors, and a pencil. For this project, an unused, unsharpened pencil would be ideal. If you don't have one, try to find a pencil with an unused eraser at the top. I'll explain why an unused pencil is ideal later. I'm using a blue piece of paper as my background color today, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut out a trunk using the brown construction paper. I'm going to cut it about 1.5 inches wide by 5 or 6 inches tall. So now that I have the trunk, I need to cut out some branches. Here's where you can get creative since tree branches don't grow in specific shapes. I'm just cutting out wavy looking shapes with the brown construction paper and what I think might look good as branches. If you need help cutting, please ask a parent, guardian, or staff for help. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to cut your branches. All trees are unique, so you don't need to cut all the branches in the same size and shape. And for this project, you can cut out however many or however few branches you'd like. Now that you've got the branches all cut out, you can move them around to see how best to place them before you glue them down. When I've got the branches arranged and I put the trunk down, I think that looks pretty good, so I think that's where I'll glue my branches. Using my glue, I'm going to lift up each branch and put a little bit of glue on the back. Once I've done that, I'm going to flip the branch back over and press it gently back into place. I'm going to do this for each branch. Once all the branches are glued down, I'm going to press down gently to make sure they're secured into place. Once the branches are all glued on, I'm going to go ahead and glue on the trunk. Now I'm going to put down the newspaper to protect it from any glue that might get on the table. The next thing I'm going to do is cut some green construction paper to fit across the bottom to make some grass. I'm going to line it up on one side and cut where it fits across the bottom. I'm then going to cut a rectangle that's approximately 1 inch tall. Then across one side, I'm going to cut out triangle shapes so it looks like grass across the top. So now the grass is done. Now I'm going to take the glue and put some across the back side of the grass. Like the branches, you don't need too much glue. Now flip it over and secure it to the bottom of the picture. Now it's time to prep the tissue paper. Tissue paper typically comes folded in thirds as you see here. I found leaving it folded in thirds and cutting it across is the easiest way to make tissue paper strips. So I'm going to go ahead and cut across about 1 inch, making a 1-inch strip of tissue paper. And when you unfold it, you have a pretty even strip of tissue paper. I'm going to cut a second strip, and I'm going to cut 2 strips of every color tissue paper I have. Once you have your strip of tissue paper, go ahead and cut it into squares and make piles. Do this for every color of tissue paper you're using. Now I'm ready to start the tree. I'm going to be using the light yellow, bright yellow, and red tissue paper. The first thing I'm going to do is pour out some glue onto the paper plate. Now I'm going to use that pencil. You can use either the unsharpened end or the end with the eraser. I'm going to take a piece of tissue paper, put it on the end, and bunch it up. This should give you a flat area at the end. Then dip this end in a little bit of glue. You don't need too much. Decide where you want to place the tissue paper and push down hard on the end. It should slide off the pencil easily. Let me show you again. Take a piece of tissue paper and place it on the end of the pencil and wrap it around. You're going to bunch it around the pencil and make sure it's flat on the bottom. Then you're going to dip the end in a little bit of glue, decide where you want to put it on your tree, and press down firmly to secure it. Now here's why it's important to have an unused, unsharpened pencil to use if possible. Tissue paper is thin and you're repeating this process over and over, so the glue is going to start to seep through the tissue paper and get on the edge of the pencil. This is going to cause the edge of the pencil to get sticky so the tissue paper won't slide off as easily. So if you have an unused, unsharpened pencil, you can flip over the pencil and use the other side while the original side dries. And if you don't have an unused, unsharpened pencil to use, that's okay. You may just have to take a little break while your pencil dries before you can add more tissue paper. As you can see, I'm already using my other hand to try to get the tissue paper off, which is telling me my pencil's already beginning to get too sticky. I'm deciding to bunch some of the tissue paper up to make clumps of leaves, and I'm also going to leave some of the branches exposed because I really like the shape of the branches. And it's up to you what color tissue paper you use for the leaves. I decided on these colors because it's fall time and these colors reminded me of fall. So that's the basic process of how to add leaves to your tree. Here's how mine's looking after adding some more tissue paper. I've got different colors in each little tissue paper clump, and I've also left some branches exposed. I'm alternating tissue paper colors as I put them on, but if you want to use one or just 2 colors, that's okay. You can use as few or as many colors as you like. And here's how it's looking again with even more tissue paper leaves added. Remember, you can add as many or as few leaves as you'd like. Here I am getting closer to the end of adding the tissue paper leaves. This project may take a little longer depending on how often you have to let your pencil dry, but the end result is definitely worth it. I decided that that's all the tissue paper leaves I'm going to add, and now I'm going to add some grass. I'm going to do the same process for the grass as I did for the leaves. I'm going to bunch the tissue paper around the pencil, dip it in glue, and then press down firmly on the paper. I'm not going to totally cover the green construction paper, but I'm just going to put little bunches here and there. Then with the light blue tissue paper, I'm going to do the same thing, adding some clouds in the upper corners. Now let the whole thing dry completely. And there we have the completed tissue paper tree. You can now hang it up on your wall as a beautiful piece of art. I hope you have fun making your own, and thanks for watching.